Good evening, everybody, and welcome to round one of the GT3 Euro Championship, Euro GT3 Championship. CXR presenting this. Myself, Phil McDougall, in the commentary box, doing all the cameras and other works, etc. With Ruben Schilt in the commentary box with me. We've got Neil Andrews and Aaron Taylor in race control as well. So, say good evening, Ruben.
Good evening, Phil.
Good.
How are we doing?
Yeah, all good. Yeah, it's nice to have a new season up.
Yeah.
First round here at Spa. Track temperature 23 degrees, so it's not
Yeah, you're right. 23 degrees.
overly warm, but a nice little evening. Everyone's just going out on track now for the qualifying.
Yeah. And the sun is slowly setting, so it's gonna give some great shots on the track. Love this blimp action. But yeah, new season, GT3 cars. And for what we just saw in the practice session, it's looking really promising. Thank you for the follow, Nismo Psyche.
Yeah, I'll let you get all the names wrong.
Yeah, that's all me. But yeah, qualifying on the way. Qualifying is 25 minutes, and we've got a grid of, I think it's 36 drivers.
I believe it was 36 in the session. Well, don't have to worry about the Pro and Am qualifying this time, so it's just one overall championship. So everyone gets 25 minutes to qualify. So I guess we'll have to find something to talk about for 25 minutes.
How's your day going?
How's your day going? What did you get up to today?
Yeah, but it's no, it's good. It's like you say, we don't have the AM and the pros this time around, so that also makes it a little bit easier for us to see how everybody is going on in qualifying. What we already saw, some of the drivers and teammates practice in the actual practice session was trying to figure out how much they should be behind each other to get the best tow, and therefore try to set the fastest lap time. So it's gonna be quite interesting how they are going to do this on track. It's a big track, as we know, long track. But yeah, as we now see on the Camel Straight, it's still quite busy.
Yeah, it's quite busy down that Camel Straight. There's about 7 or 8 cars off to the left-hand side there off the track. Didn't quite see who it was. All the Venomworks cars together.
Yeah. All in the BMW Z4. So we've got the Ferrari GT3, we got the BMW GT3, we got the McLaren GT3, and I'm not quite sure. I reckon we got some Mercedes GT3s as well tonight.
Yeah, there's a few Mercedes GT3s. I'm not seeing too many Audis actually.
Oh, there is Audi. That's true. I think my fellow Dutchman Yuri Pepijn-Evers is driving the Audi R8. So a nice mixture of cars, but still, it seems to be that it's going to be relatively close. Cheers for the follow, by the way, Carl 1969. And good evening to everybody watching home. I hope you're gonna enjoy this stream as much as we do. I'm really looking forward to this one. Really looking forward. It's gonna be a close one. But with 25 minutes, people will have the time to try and set their fastest lap time.
Yeah, as we saw from practice session as well, there was some really close times going in. Top 15, top 20 were probably within a second of each other.
Yeah. So, no matter which position you are, you can bet your fingers, hands, feet, whatever on it, that you're gonna have a battle. You're definitely gonna have a battle. So, at least you got something to fight for. In the meantime, we got the first time set, but it's probably gonna jump once everybody comes across the line. As of now, it's Dan Carpenter with a 218.8. I reckon we're going to see some low 217s for the pole position. But it's all finding your right spot.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Maybe even a 16. We'll see. We'll see.
That could be a possibility. There we see, I think that's Morgan Thompson in the McLaren. Very closely following somebody through a rouge there. I think it's one of the RWC Racing guys. And there we got another follow. Cheers, Lurchy Boy and Timmy TT 1234. all the nice names, but yeah, we really appreciate all the follow, guys. Cheers for watching. I hope you enjoy. Something we can mention though, as we said before, we got 36 cars on the grid now. If you would like to join, we still have 4 spots available. So feel free to head over to our Discord for more information about it. And if you want to join, just follow the rules there and all should be good. So Phil, in our last GTE season, you had a new feature during the whole stream with the nice sort of onboard camera views from people's webcams. Either we're driving from home. And I think we got that again for this season.
We do have that again for this season. I've actually got more drivers than I can possibly put up on the screen. Hang on 1 second. Ah, right, okay. That's why we don't display the first 2.
This is gonna put them right in top of the screen. But we see Chris Needham, Duncan Kirby, and Ollie Marler, one of our newer drivers. So we got quite a few returning drivers, but then again, we also got quite a few new drivers in this league, which is always nice to see. And we got some of the returning drivers who didn't drive in the GTE Championship, but did do maybe a GT4 or even the Mazda MX-5s that we did in the past. So nice to see that people enjoy the CXR leagues. There we saw Kieran Smart briefly coming by. So as we said before as well, for the people who are new to watching the CXR leagues, we got live race control. As we stated, the names Neil Andrews and Aaron Taylor. And yeah, they will review every incident during the race, and if needed, they will hand out a penalty during the race. And sometimes it can be an incident that will be looked into after the race will be reviewed, and then if needed, a penalty will be handed out to the drivers.
Before the points go on, so...
There you go. And how does the point system work for this season, Phil, as we don't have the AMs and the pros?
Exactly, well, kind of the same way. So the first first to 20th get points, and it goes down from 25 points all the way down to 1 point.
There you go. Well, in the meantime, we saw Duncan Kirby going straight through at the bus stop chicane after the Camel Straight. But in the meantime, it's Morgan Thompson with a 217.9, leading just in front of Benjamin Johnson, who set a 218.012. Third place is Duncan Kirby with a 218.2. Then we've got Dion Phillips with a 218.2. And then 1,000th of a second behind Dion Phillips, we got Billy Fletcher with a 218.2. So we said it before, it's looking really, really close.
Yeah, I'm just hoping it stays that close to the like total the whole race, I guess.
Yeah.
Which, fingers crossed, it will. Obviously, the pit stops is going to come into play at some point.
Exactly.
I think a little bit longer than it did in the GTEs, so they should be able to run a little bit longer than the normal 20 minutes, maybe up to 25 to 30 minutes. No, I may have to expand it a little bit. I'd like them to run just over the 30-minute mark.
Right. So, as we got the 25 minutes to film, maybe it's nice to call out who all the drivers are in this league before we eventually are, or will show them on screen after qualifying is done. So we've got Morgan Thompson, Benjamin Johnson, Duncan Kirby, Dion Phillips, Billy Fletcher, Just Johnson, Dan Carpenter, Peter Den Otter, Chris Needham, Gonzalo Perez, Matt Acton, Kieran Smart, Daniel Merchant, Dominic Verster, if I'm saying that correctly. Oops, there I go with names. Jason Haddington, Arnoud Channonier, Miles Owens, John Tresseder, Matthew Hodges, Johnny Poelstra, David Meeken, Paul J. Klist, Ollie Marler, Jess White, Jonas Gillis, Damien Schaaf, David Patterson, Jelle Pieter Hoogland, Dennis Meisner, Juri Pepijn Evers, Adam Southgate, Kieran Williams, Mathieu Dembreen, and Kenneth Engel Andreessen. So that are all the drivers, and I think it's also nice to say what kind of teams are running in this league. So we've got the CXR Project Black team, we've got Venomworks GT, we've got some privateers as well, we've got Flatout Sim Sport, RWC Racing, SimFX Racing, Year One Racing, Vulcan Sim Racing, Team Teffy, Wraith Energy Racing, BTR, Vibe Esports by SimFX Racing, Enigma Racing, High Driver, I think Year One. Yep, we already had Year One. Escape VRT, Luxim 24 Esports, and that's the teams that we got. And we were talking about the Audi before, and I'm not quite sure who made a last change in the car they are driving, but as it's looking now, we have 1 or 2 Gs.
I think it's just a one Audi. I thought we had more than that, but I guess someone's made a late change, which they were perfectly entitled to do.
Yeah.
Up until the first race, so.
But once the season is on the way, they won't be able to change. Oh, and there we see one of the McLarens, CXR Project Black McLaren, spinning. Not quite sure what happened there. Maybe caught the grass on the break-in heavily for the bus stop chicane. And to answer Peter NL's question, yeah, I am Dutch. You probably heard it because of the names pronunciations, but I am. But it would be a bit weird if I started talking Dutch. Oh, right, that's what happened. So Ferrari lost control there. Flat out SimSport. And yeah. He may try to brake on the grass, we don't know quite sure, but we know that the grass is very slippery at iRacing, so it's a bit unfortunate, but the good thing is we still have about 10 minutes of qualifying to go. We see some cars pulling off the track there. But what I was going to say is that it's going to be quite weird if I started talking Dutch during this stream and Phil is in English.
No, well, you should maybe just start talking in English.
Yeah.
I'm only kidding.
Good evening, Kitty178. And we've got Forged asking for car numbers. Well, who has done it, Phil? Should I call all the car numbers out?
I can put them all up on screen.
Oh,
it'll be easier.
That's a lot easier. Let's do it. And there you have it. And I think most of the people all got their first preferred car number.
Yes. I don't. Yeah. There might have been one person actually who had to change to their secondary number, but I think most people got their preferred number.
Right. Good evening, Renee. Welcome to the stream. Renee was the driving in the GTE last season. Unfortunately, couldn't join this GT3 season, but we hope to see him back on track in the future for other leagues. Yeah, it was Morgan that got hit. Yeah. We know by him having the black wheels on the McLaren GT3, while his teammate Adam Southgate has the green wheels. There you go, love the green. Good evening, PKTNE or PKT Neo 8. So who are we all cheering for? Who's supporting who tonight? Good, Renee. Very good. By the way, tonight it's only Phil and me for commentary. For the people who've been watching us for a while now, normally we've got Mark the Statsman, but he couldn't make it tonight, so it's only Phil and me who's gonna bore the hell out of y'all.
Y'all. You were very American then.
Okay. Package in Spanish, right? Okay. I'll just leave it at PKT or something. So there we've got a nice onboard view again from Kieran Smart. And Kieran Smart is currently in which position? Where is that? He's currently in 16th position. Oh, and there he lost it. Probably a little bit unstable, touching the outside curb there while turning in. So that is unfortunate, but then again, we still have just under 8 minutes to go. Look, we got somebody rooting for Adam. Very good. Well, as we said before, good evening, OGL Matt. Good to see you as well on the stream. Well, as we said before, practice looked really, really close. So, I mean, if it's going to be that close during racing, anything can happen. And I don't want to jinx anything. I already did it twice or 3 times tonight, but I'll still keep saying it. Anything can happen. But you gotta love Spa. I think most of the people driving tonight probably have done the 24 hours last weekend. I know we did. I know some of the drivers did, so the track should be pretty familiar. Was that Phil?
I hated it. Just couldn't get on pace. Couldn't get on pace.
Oh, and there I see Kieran Smart losing the car again. Yeah, I think he's just a little bit too eager on throttle coming out of the pit with the colder tires. You really do need to take that first lap a little bit slower than normally, so. There you've got somebody rooting for Ollie Marler. Good evening, 58 Waste. Do we have a full formation lap? I don't think you have at Spa.
No, you don't. I think it's
on the back straight,
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, just before Blanchimont, I think. And there we've got somebody rooting for Perez. So, but yeah, I mean, it's sort of a love-hate relationship with Spa, isn't it? Either you have great races with decent pace and all that sort of stuff, or things just don't go your way. But I had that sort of bad luck, not last weekend, but the week before. So I think I cleared myself for the 24 hours. And in the meantime, how's qualifying looking? So it's Duncan Kirby moment this moment. I just went a little bit Dutch there. With a 217.8, about a 10th in front of Jelle Pieter Hoogland, and Morgan Thompson still 3rd, Dion Phillips still 4th, Benjamin Johnson 5th. So the only 2 new changes are Duncan Kirby and Jelle Pieter Hoogland. And we're now coming to the end of qualifying.
Josh Johnson goes into pole position.
There you go. Oh, but it's still so close, isn't it? A 218 or 217.812, where Duncan Kirby had set a 217.837. So, Is there something that demotes AM or Pro in the timing tower? What?
No, this is just overall. It's not a Pro and Am championship, so
no.
Yeah.
And we need to keep a camera in case of the shorter formation lap. We need to keep a camera ready for the top of Eau Rouge. Yeah, well, I mean, it's in the end of the day, it's up to the drivers to go to the top of Eau Rouge and try to keep it as clean as possible for everyone. Not a lot of people on quicker laps. Lee Fletcher had a green sector, but all his other sectors are orange. We see Dominic Forster, with 3 green sectors, so he may be up for a position change. And he didn't, no. So that's unfortunate. And when we started this session, the track temp was 23, and it's still 23 degrees there, so no change in that. What you reckon, Phil, would be better to do? Try to sort of divide the qualifying into two different goes? Like, have a first run, do maybe 2-3 laps, come in and try to do the same? Or, I mean, for the tires, of course, you wanna heat them, but you don't want to overdrive the cars during the 25-minute qualifying. So
I would probably say 3 laps maximum before you start coming in again. Yeah, because anything over that, you are just going on an old rubber.
yeah, trying to push, probably trying to chase that lap time.
Yeah.
Oh, and there we've got a new lap time. It's still just Johnson, but he set a quicker lap by. It's showing purple, but I think it's still the same lap time though. So I'm not quite sure if he just literally did the same lap time as he had set his fastest lap. What? But the top 13 divided by 1 second, and even going further down the field to say P20 is only 1.6 seconds. So, I mean, over a lap of Spa, it's not much.
It's not, is it? Yeah, this is crazy close. Someone giving up there. First corner.
Oh, I think for and there we see Kieran Smart losing it at the Rouge. Ah, that was a hard hit. That was a hard hit.
Very hard hit. Not want to be in that
for
car.
him, I hope he wasn't driving a direct drive and keeping his hands on the wheel.
I don't think he is. From what I said before, I don't think he was on a direct drive wheel.
Not that it matters though. I mean, everybody has the setup they got, and they try to do the best with it. But as we know, a direct drive can be quite painful with that sort of hits. So you want to let go of the wheel. I think most of the people now probably will be on their last lap, and there we see Jelle Pieter Hoogland setting a pole position to 17.794. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to be that close to McLaren. It's gonna fry your front bumper. I mean, you made a lot of jokes about it in liveries, putting sausages on the rear of the car, having a sort of constant barbecue.
No, I did it. I did it. I don't know whether you noticed.
No, what? For which one? No, you're joking.
It's on the livery.
Oh, that's quite funny. No, I haven't noticed that one, but that was probably more because I was in the car than outside the car. But yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, the other cars probably have some backfire as well, but yeah, the McLaren stands out, and especially when you go into the dark, whatever track it may be, then it's amazing. Or marshmallows, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that was a big hit.
And I think yet again, it's just on a break-in, tapping that sort of little bit of grass before you have the outside curb at the bus stop chicane, but indeed it was hard. If you lose the control of your car there, you're just a sitting duck. You're a passenger of your own ride. So, last couple of seconds. There we've got it. Qualifying is over. So who are still running for a lap time?
So I think we've still got Adam Southgate still running.
With the green wheels on the McLaren?
Yeah.
Looking nice.
Hello, Hoogland is also still out on the lap. Josh Johnson, Duncan Kirby, I would imagine, is still on the lap, and Morgan Thompson is just sitting there in this beautiful McLaren. That's it from Dennis Miles there.
To the pit. We see John
Tresider.
Yeah, sorry. Maybe John. Maybe you need to tell us how to pronounce your name. But he jumped one position from P22 to P21. Then we've got Josh Johnson still running. And as you said, Adam Southgate, I think Josh Johnson is close to finishing his lap. And we got him in the BMW Z4. Our braking zone. So let's see if he was able to find some time.
Stays in second.
Yes, he does. So, last car on track. Oh, that's quite promising. Don't want to jinx it for Adam, but 2 green sectors.
Yeah, looking good for a last lap.
And green, of course, means that he is on a better lap than he's already set before. It's not that he set the fastest sectors, because then we've got the purple. But it's looking promising. He's currently in P9, so... Great line through Blanchimont there. Now need to try to do the best for the bus stop.
Does he go any faster? He does go 1 position faster, goes up to P8.
There you go, so...
218.07.
That's qualifying done. Well, that was 25 minutes flying by.
So...
But yeah, look at all the lap times. So close, so close. And even near the back of the field, it's still close. P30 all to P23 all in the 220. So, like I said before, everybody got somebody to race with. So we're waiting on the official results.
Yeah, just waiting for them to come through. Shouldn't take too long. Waits out for 3 minutes, I think. Counter.
Yes.
So 45-minute race coming up. Hopefully it's as close as the qualifying and the practice has been.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to this one.
Let's hope that people will be a little bit cautious on lap 1, especially going through a Rouge.
Well, you always hope, but...
Yeah, we're not the guys driving, we're only commentating.
Exactly.
So there we've got the official results. So on P1 it's Jelle Pieter Hoogland, P2 Josh Johnson, P3 Duncan Kirby, P4 Morgan Thompson, P5 Dion Phillips, P6 Benjamin Johnson, P7 Billy Fletcher, P8 Adam Southgate, P9 Gonzalo Perez, P10 Dan Carpenter, P11 Peter Den Otter, P12 Matt Acton, P13 Arnaud Channonier, P14 Chris Needham, P15 Daniel Merchant, P16 Miles Owens, P17 Dennis Meisner, P18 Kieran Smart, P19 Matthew Hodges, P20 Dominic Furster, P21 John Tressiter, P22 Jason Headington, P23 Matthew Dambreen, P24 Jonas Gillis, P25 Oli Marler, P26 Johnny Poelstra, P27 David Meekin, P28 Paul Klist, P29 Jess White, P30 Kenneth Andresen, P31 Damien Shave, P32 Kieran Williams, P33 David Pedersen, and last but not least Yuri Pepijn Evers, P34, but he hasn't set a time. Maybe he's just thinking, well, let everything go its way in front of me and I'll drive through it.
I mean, possibly. I mean, did you want to go through the qualifying standings again?
No.
Well, just in case.
I'm out of breath. I need a minute. Yeah, normally we divided it in 2, of course, and then it's between me and Mark, but holy. No, still good. A nice field. We've got there 34 drivers.
Someone just blown their engine.
Oh, that's... Wow, what?
That or someone's just got some diesel powered engine in
Well,
there.
let's see if we can find out who's still standing or towing back to the pits probably. Maybe did a slight burnout, that was we saw smoke, I don't know. So we've got a short run.
Yep, short run. So safety car will be in very
Are we
short.
going and are we going on the actual green of iRacing, Phil, or is the leader
Yeah,
to
no,
decide
no.
the pace?
We go the same as iRacing normally does because I think it just helps with not confusing people.
Right, good call.
There we go. I guess we're going.
Some gaps, nothing too major. I think everybody at least went pretty clean through the bus stop before the actual lap went. Going to turn 1. Can always be a little bit hectic.
Now we're going green.
Now
Yeah,
we're going
now
green.
Yeah, so it's actually from the endurance start.
So, but it's Duncan Kirby right on the back there of Josh Johnson. Oh, and that was Kieran Smart. He probably will have a slowdown. We saw it on top of the screen, cutting through a rouge. Well, sometimes that's the best decision to take the slowdown and not try to get a rouge still, but you'll lose the car if you don't watch it. And there we have a fight between, I think it's Morgan Thompson and Duncan Kirby. So Morgan Thompson now up to P3, taking the position from Duncan Kirby. Well, everybody seems to go through lap 1 for now pretty well, apart from some cutting the track maybe.
Yeah, there was obviously there's just people kind of avoiding first lap incidents, I guess.
Exactly.
So it seems to have kicked off nice and well.
And I know we are rooting for the closeness of racing, but it's going to be hard to keep a track of all the battles. So if we do miss a battle, we already apologize. Now on board with Morgan Thompson in the McLaren. Well, there's a slight gap between him and Josh Johnson and Jelle Pieter Hoogland. And yeah, I mean, I think they want to try to work together to close that gap back down, because you still want to be in that zone to stay with the top 2. Oh, and there was a car off track. There was a car off track there, right after Blanchimont. Unfortunately, it was a little bit too late to catch who it actually was. And there we've got Billy Fletcher belling it out for position. I think that's with Benjamin Johnson. Sorry, I think it's Dion Phillips.
Yeah, I believe it is Dion Phillips. No, sorry, behind him it is Ben Johnson.
Right.
But Ben Johnson looking
yeah,
for the
yeah.
lead
Dion
now.
Phillips is a little bit further in front in the white-blue Ferrari. And it's Benjamin Johnson who's putting the pressure on Billy Fletcher, but he's got Morgan Thompson, or Adam Southgate, sorry, close behind him as well. So it is currently Josh Johnson leading the way in front of Jelle Pieter Hoogland. I think he just took advantage of that camel straight, getting the toe, taking the position. And it seems that Morgan Thompson is closing the gap back down a little bit, roughly half second behind Jelle Pieter Hoogland. Further down the field, we got a nice train of cars behind P15. And that's Matthew Hodges, followed by Dominic Forster, John Tressler, Jason Eddington, and Miles Owens, Kieran Smart. Here we're looking at the battle between Adam Southgate and Gonzalo Perez for P8.
There you go, you can just about see the sausages.
Actually, oh, and he's waiting. Didn't want to go for a move before Blanchimont, and not a bad guess. Oh, very late break-in by Gonzalo Perez there, putting it on the inside of Adam Southgate. Well, Adam's still on the inside, and yeah, there's a little bit of an incident. Nothing too major, but not quite sure if Gonzalo will lose in one more position because of it. Doesn't seem to be. Good evening, Roberto. Nice to see you again on the stream. So currently the top 5, say top 6, or maybe even 7 are all within a second of each other. I mean, on this track, as we said, with the longer straights, the camel straight, the back straight, you can keep within that second, then it's a little bit easier to follow. Maybe do some fuel saving, work on your strategy, because we do have a mandatory pit stop. And I think, Phil, we do have one fast repair again this season.
Yeah, same as last season, so still one fast repair. Just if you need it, take it, get back out and racing done.
Yeah, of course, it's always a little bit hard, isn't it? If you got just some slight damage, but it may cost you some top speed, are you gonna take it that soon, or are you gonna wait for your mandatory pit and then take the fast repair, or do you take the gamble and don't take the fast repair and save it for when something maybe happens later on in the race? It's always a bit of a gamble. In the meantime, watching between the battle with Arnaud Chanonnier and Dennis Meisner for P13. Morgan Thompson now losing a little bit of time behind Jelle Pieter Hoogland, and Duncan Kirby seems to be able to keep up with Morgan, or maybe even close the gap down a little bit. And it's 2 BMWs leading away in front of McLaren. Then we've got another BMW, then we've got a Ferrari, and then 2 BMWs again. So it does seem that the BMW has a slight advantage over the other cars. Not much, not much.
Yeah, not much, but yeah, I think here we saw at the weekend there was a lot of BMWs up the front, so yeah, obviously one of the cars to choose that spot actually on the current build anyway, so
yeah. Well, have fun, Kitty178. Have to catch a NASCAR race. Well, that's something. Oh, now Morgan Thompson has a great run on Jelle Pieter Hoogland there, as we see. And now he closed that gap down, so that's, yeah. Again, if you have a good run, especially through a Rouge, and then with Camel Straight coming. And he's now created a little bit of breathing space back to Duncan Kirby, and is now all over the back of Jelle Pieter Hoogland. Further down the field, we still got a group of cars behind Arnaud Chanonnier with Dennis Meisner, Matthew Hodges, John Tressiter, Dominic Forster, Jason Headington, Miles Owens, Kieran Smart. It's all so close. It's a little bit hard to follow. And then we've got another nice battle for P5 between Dion Phillips, Billy Fletcher, and about a second behind Billy Fletcher we've got Benjamin Johnson. So, oh, it's pretty much now again P7, all within a second of each other. So, still a nice group of cars going. Phil, were you mentioning earlier that it's maybe going to be a little bit dark near the end of the race?
oh yeah, I mean it looks like it's going pretty dark now anyway. Oh, we've got someone's off there. John Tressida off in his Ferrari. A little bit of a wiggle on, loses the back end off the tracks. Thank you for the follow, Stream One.
Yeah, cheers for the follow. It's just, I mean, with some cars you can abuse the curbs more than the other car. I know the McLaren isn't that much of a curb lover as the Ferrari or the BMW. Then again, if you just take a little bit too much speed into a turn and then use too much curb, then well, that's what can happen. Oh, there we see Jason Haddington, sorry. Going a little bit too deep into the bus stop and loses a position to Kieran Smart. And they all get one position anyway because of John Trester having that issue. A little bit of front end damage there for Daniel Merchant.
Yeah, there was a little bit to the right hand side of his car. Came from.
Well, cheers Adrian Pixel for using Google Translate. So still Morgan Thompson right on the back of Jelle Pieter Hoogland, putting the pressure on. See if he can force him into making a little mistake to gain that position. The thing is though, if they're gonna battle it too hard, then yeah, it's gonna play in the hands of Just Johnson, who is currently still leading the way. And thank you for the follow, Tom. Well, yeah, Phil and me were talking about it earlier, and I mean, the McLaren does look strong, but it's just certain sectors on track where it seems to be a little bit stronger than the BMW or the Ferrari. But then again, the Ferrari and BMW have their other benefits compared to the McLaren. So in the end, I think it evens itself out, and it's something that we could see due to the qualifying times. So Phil, can you have a little look at what the current fastest lap time is?
Current fastest time.
Good evening, JPH.
Best time is a 2:18.277.
Right. There you go. Is the Merc a bit dodgy? Well, from what I've heard, I haven't driven it myself, but from what I've heard after a recent update from iRacing, there seemed to be an issue with changing gears into lower gears, so that may play a little bit. Oh, and it was Yuri Papay-Nevers, Phil, whose engine had blown at the start of the race.
Ah, so it was an engine blow then.
Oh, that's very sorry to hear, Yuri. That's not the way you want to start the season or want to start a race at all. So, not quite sure what happened there then. I don't know how long you were gridding. But yeah, that's really unfortunate. In the meantime, still Morgan Thompson putting the pressure on Jelle Pieter Hoogland. But as we said, there's now a gap of roughly 1.3 seconds to Just Johnson. We also see Adam Southgate still currently in P8, followed by Gonzalo Perez. And in 10th position, we've got Dan Carpenter, who's being followed by Matt Acton. And still, for, say, P14, we've got that long group of cars as well, with Dennis Meisner, Matthew Hodges.
Yeah, this group's still having a great battle.
Yeah.
The one to keep an eye on. After going to go back to the front of the pack there. Sure, there's going to be a move made at some point.
Yeah, the question is, are they all thinking about their own strategy though? Like,
yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
if they're all going to play a little bit more safe on strategy, they're still probably going to come into the pits at roughly the same time. So there's your strategy gone. Cheers, by the way, JPH. We do love the new graphics as well. So cheers for Phil because of the graphics.
Spend a little bit of time changing them up.
Yeah, you've got time enough, don't you?
Yeah, time all the time.
Nah, we know that's not true. Anyways, we see position change between Chris Needham and P12. I think there was Arnaud Chalonier who we gained position from.
Might have been a slowdown there for Duncan Kirby, I think. as he went over that line, sorry, over Radion. Managed to get rid of it before
Yeah, well, I mean, they are driving now for 40 minutes, so it's going to play in effect that probably the slowdown isn't as harsh as it would be at the start of the race. But I know if you take too much, then it's going to be about 1.5 to 2 second slowdown, so... And after the spin that John Tresidder had, he's currently in P21, but he's fighting for position with, I think it's Dennis Meisner. And we're now looking at my fellow Dutchman, Peter Den Otter, fighting for position with Jason Haddington. So that's a BMW versus the Ferrari. Must say, Phil, you and I have a good reminiscence of the BMW Z4, the last time we drove it.
Yeah, we do. We won, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
We did.
Smashed Dream team, mate. Dream team. Smashed.
Smashed him, mate. Completed it, mate.
So
John Phillips is under attack from Billy Fletcher.
I was going to say... But he's got the inside for the bus stop. So well defended position there by Dion Phillips. But at some point you do have to try to go for the overtake. You don't want to stay behind too long. But it's looking at Morgan Thompson now is currently in P2. Took the position from Jelle Pieter Hoogland. And he's about roughly, what is it, half a second behind Josh Johnson. Well, make that even about 2-3 tenths. There we see it. Camel straight. Late break in, side to side. Nice move. Nice move from Morgan Thompson. But I must say that Jelle Pieter Hoogland left enough room.
He's making a move for P1. He's making a move for P1 as he goes around.
It's going to be a replay. It is going to be a replay.
Absolute replay of the same move he just pulled on Jelle Hoogland. Pulls the same move again on Josh Johnson.
Wow, great driving there by Morgan. But then again, also to Josh Johnson, they keep it fair. You see the respect on track. They leave the room. Of course, he doesn't want to lose the position, but he also doesn't want to take himself out or anybody else. So, but great driving by all three. Now let's see if the battle can continue, because yes, now Morgan is in front, but will he have the pace to drive away from both Venom Works, Josh Johnson and Jelle Pieter Hoogland?
They are both Venom Works drivers.
So we've got a sort of a sandwich, because we've got Morgan Thompson driving for CXR Project Black, followed by two Venom Works drivers. Then we've got Duncan Kirby in P4, who's also a CXR Project Black driver. But as we can see behind Duncan Kirby, we still got Dion Phillips. Billy Fletcher is also not far behind, so... And the battle for, say, P11, P12 is now split up a little bit. It's Dan Carpenter who lost a little bit of time on Matt Acton. Am I saying that correctly? I think it is. Here, battle between Adam Southgate and Gonzalo Perez. Gonzalo Perez driving for Escape VRT. And there we see the position change. Matt Acton P11, Arnaud Chanonier P12, and Dan Carpenter P13. So Dan Carpenter just lost another position. There we see Miles Owens losing a position. I was going to say losing position to his teammate Matthew Hodges, but they switched back again. So... Also, and still driving P14, so cheers, guys.
I was going 3 wide there, actually, last pane.
Great racing tonight. It's just great racing tonight. But we're looking at Dominic Forster driving behind Miles Owens and Matthew Hodges. Oh, we see Duncan Kirby. I think Duncan Kirby has crashed. He's dropping a lot of positions. And the same seems to be for Dion Phillips. Dion Phillips also lost quite a lot of positions. Yeah, and there we see the reason why. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, they're all driving in a train. Looked like somebody may brake a little bit too late. And once you're too late on the brakes, you're just sitting duck.
Yeah,
So that's unfortunate.
It looks like Gonzalo Perez has overtaken Adam Southgate as well to take himself into P6. So they would have both just passed Duncan Kirby during that off.
And yeah, and Dion Phillips as well.
Phillips as well, yeah. So both gaining 2 positions with Gonzalo Perez taking.
That means though that the battle for P1, or say the top 5, has split up a little bit. It's still Morgan Thompson leading the way for Josh Johnson and Jelle Pieter Hoogland, but there's a gap of roughly 1.4 seconds to Billy Fletcher, who has a gap of about 1.8 seconds to Benjamin Johnson. And here the nice battle we got going on for. I mean, these guys should have a fantastic race. I mean, we're 20 minutes on the way, still the same group of cars, just following each other around.
Yeah, that's the type of race you love. It doesn't matter, like, even if you finish in P25th and have a great race, don't even score points, but you've had a great race. That's all that matters.
It could still feel like a victory. Okay, you don't have the 25 points, but it could still feel like. But Dominic is really trying to get position there from Kieran Smart.
Dominic Force has actually now gone into the pit lane, so...
there you go. And the same goes for Dan Carpenter and Duncan Kirby also, yeah, probably because of the contact. Dion Phillips following. So I think that's 4 cars into the pit. No, correct me. I think that's even more. I think it's 5 or 6 cars. 20 minutes does seem a little bit early, doesn't it?
It does, but maybe that's the earliest opportunity that you can pit.
That's true. That's true.
I hope so. Anyway, I hope we're not going to be pitting twice.
So it's Kieran Smart now on the back of Matthew Hodges. Going on to the Camel Straight, coming onto the bus stop chicane. Is Kieran Smart going to try to do sort of the same move as we see Morgan Thompson doing? But no. He's staying behind Matthew Hodges for now. Well, I mean, and there you have it. Like I said, Morgan Thompson, yeah, he has made the overtakes, 2 nice overtakes. But he's not pulling away. Josh Johnson still within that second. Here we see Paul J. Clist. Yeah. I think that's with Matthew Dambreen, if I'm correct.
Yeah, Matthew Dambreen.
Yeah, that year 1 livery does really stand out there. Nice and bright. There we see the 2 Venomworks drivers, Josh Johnson and Jelle Pieter Hoogland, coming into the pit, and Morgan Thompson still going. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Billy Fletcher coming in, Benjamin Johnson coming in, Gonzalo Perez coming in, Adam Southgate's coming in. So, woof.
Everyone's coming in.
Everybody. Wow, Morgan. Did he save enough fuel to...
He must have. He must
still do one more lap.
Fuel.
Well, it's, you know what the thing is? We've talked about it during the weekend. You have your relative box and you can see what kind of estimated laps you've got. But if for most of the time you've been driving behind another car, it's not based on actually going around full throttle. So for Morgan's sake, I hope he has enough fuel to do one more lap. And yeah, I'm really curious if it's going to play into his hands. But roughly, well, everybody's coming to the pit.
Synchronized lights. How do they all manage to turn all the lights on at the exact same time?
Wow, that's oh. And the McLaren doesn't hesitate. It's here. It's only the BMW, and I think the Ferrari as well. But very close behind each other. And I can also state that there was a penalty handed out during the race. It was a black flag penalty, so that's probably a stop and go, if I'm correct, Phil, for Kenneth Andresen.
I think it'd be a drive-through.
Oh, maybe even a drive-through for causing minor damage. So Morgan's still running. There we go, a little bit onboard view. Still no stuttering, so that's a good sign. Does seem that he's gonna have enough fuel. What were the pit times for the other drivers, Phil?
They all stopped for around about 17, 18, 19 seconds.
Right, and Morgan's coming in.
Yeah, so we'll have to have a look. All the front runners were doing 18 and 19s.
Yeah, I do think Kieran Smart and who's currently, that's P3. I think
Kieran
that's
Smart and Matthew Dambrini. Matthew Dambrini,
yep.
Dambrini, they still have to fit.
So the gap to Jelle Pieter Hoogland was about, is it 20? Is that the 20 seconds? Is that correct? Because he's in the pit now, of course.
Keep an eye on it.
I'm keeping an eye on it. Ooh. Not quite sure if it was correct what I saw happening there with Morgan, but it seemed like that he just had a little, yeah, just a little wall banging in that right little kink. Well, it was minor. Don't think he took any damage from it. And he is stopping at his box. Oh, he's still going. They're coming up to the bus stop chicane, so gonna be interesting.
Yeah, this is going to be very tight.
Oh, I do see the blinking lights now, though. For the McLaren. Oh, it's gonna be very tight. Morgan Thompson still standing in his box. And he's going now. But the others will have the full throttle advantage coming out of turn 1. But
Got that by quite a considerable margin, I think.
I hope he has taken enough fuel. And if he did, then he had an amazing pit stop. Good strategy. And there we see the guys coming. So his tires will be a little bit cold. So, yeah, of course, his lap time out of the pit will be a little bit slower. You don't want to spin it on your out lap. And the others will be driving on some warmer tires. Let's see if they can close the gap down. It's now 4.4 seconds. And in the meantime, it's Matthew Dambreen as well into the pit. Kieran Smart losing 2 positions, dropping back to P16. Lost the positions to Dominic Furster and Miles Owens, while Miles Owens just overtaken Dominic Furster for P14. Billy Fletcher, though, by the way, I think he gained some time during the pit stops as well, because he had a little bit of a gap to the top 3 before the pit stop of roughly 1.5 to 2 seconds, and he's now within a second of Josh Johnson, who lost the position to Jelle Pieter Hoogland. So here we're looking at Duncan Kirby now following Dion Phillips. Both were in a nice little battle, which unfortunately cost both positions. So Morgan Thompson's outlap is done. He's coming across the line now, still has quite a margin to Jelle Pieter Hoogland. So
yeah, I think 4.3 seconds is the gap at the moment.
Wow. He just nearly gained 3.5 seconds there to the pit stop, so that's quite good. Now we're gonna have to keep an eye on the lap times or the intervals. And I think we owe Miles Owens, Dominic Furster, and P16, Kieran Smart, P17, Matthew Hodges a little viewing as well. 5 cars driving for position, P14. Yeah, you can say that Forged. Definitely a huge overcut. Let's just hope he played it out as how he wanted to. Oh, some nice little onboard with Matthew Hodges.
Miles Owens is under some pressure at the moment from Dominic Forster, just behind him from Vulcan Sim Racing. And then Kieran Smart just on his tail as well.
Yeah, we're still doing a great job though. Keeping it clean. Cars look good. Just needs to hold on for this for another 15 minutes. But I mean, he's been doing it for 30 minutes now. So nothing new for him this race. Unfortunately, I have to say that Paul Kliss, driving for Year 1 Racing, had a received throughput, which means that he probably had some sort of internet connection issue and dropped out of the race.
That's always unfortunate. It's very rare. I think I've only ever had one in my whole entire iRacing career in inverted career things.
Right. Well, I mean, a lot of things can happen. I was watching Miles Owens with his Flat Out Sim Sport, I think it was this weekend, when he was doing the 3-hour endurance.
Yep.
Where his hardware just decided to do a sort of a reset or something.
Yeah, that's just the way he drives.
You called it, I didn't.
I'm kidding.
But yeah, I mean, and you have that the same with people on VR, that sometimes the VR just freezes up, or, I mean, where's wood? I need to tap it. I never had that sort of issues. I know my system by now, new, but yeah, I mean, that's something that's out of your hands. In the meantime, it's Duncan Kirby who's now in front of Dion Phillips again. And while I say it, Dion Phillips takes the position back from Duncan Kirby. So they are swapping places. Morgan Thompson still about 4.4 seconds in front of Jelle Pieter Hoogland, who's still being... Wow, that was late braking there by Duncan.
That was some late braking.
Or
though.
Yeah. Wow. It's good to see the respect, although there was that little incident at the chicane after the Camel Straight. That the respect is still there. Oh, are they going side by side through a Rouge? Who's got the biggest balls? And it's Dion Phillips. Well, great racing by the both. I think it's still unfortunate that they had that little incident, otherwise we probably would have still seen him battle for the P5.
Dion Phillips has crashed. It looks like he's out of the race.
Oh, what happened there then? Yeah. Right, we've got race control to look into it.
Yeah, back on with the race. So got the battle going on between Josh Johnson and Hele Hoogland at near the front for second and third. Billy Fletcher's just slightly dropped off the back of these two now.
He's still just within the draft of the both, but it's close on the edge of running out of it. And if you don't have that actual pace to keep up with them, then it's going to be hard to stay behind them. And they are. It seems like, are they closing down a little bit on Morgan Thompson, just only with a couple of tenths. Morgan Thompson just set it to 19.4, so yeah, they only were about a tenth quicker that last lap. So let's see if they can work together to close the gap down in the last 10 minutes of the race. In the meantime, it's Kieran Smart behind Matthew Hodges for P15. Oh, nice camera there. Oh, that looked great. That looked amazing. So let's read all the positions through. It's Morgan Thompson leading in front of Jelle Pieter Hoogland, followed by Josh Johnson, Billy Fletcher, Benjamin Johnson, Gonzalo Perez, Adam Southgate, Duncan Kirby, Chris Needham, Matt Acton, Dan Carpenter, Arnaud Chalonier, Miles Owens, Dominic Furster, Matthew Hodges, Kieran Smart, Dennis Meisner, John Tresseder, Jason Headington, Daniel Merchant, Oli Marler, Peter Den Otter, Matthew Dambreen, Johnny Poelstra, Jonas Gillis, Damien Shave, Dion Phillips, Kieran Williams, David Meekin, and then it's the first names of the people that are out. It's Paul Klist, Jess White, Kenneth Andresen, David Patterson, and Yuri Pepijn Evers.
A red out there.
Cheers for the follow, Chase Elliott fan. If you change that to CXR, it would be amazing. Just a little side joke, I'm sorry. But so far, 35 minutes of racing, we've already had paused. So it's a little bit more spread out. We still have the battle between Matthew Hodges and Kieran Smart, a battle between Miles Owen and Arnaud Chalonier, and of course the battle for P2 between the two teammates, Jelle Pieter Hoogland and Josh Johnson. And the gap to Morgan Thompson is still pretty much staying the same. But it's now really getting darker and darker.
Yeah, the night is starting to fall. Purple sky is going up.
Ooh, some off tracks we see there. A little replay of Matthew Dambreen losing it, going into Pulhan. And that's where you have it. He just touched the outside curbs there before turning in. And, well, of driving the same car this weekend, we know that's something you don't want to do with the McLaren. It really unsettles the car.
The curb was horrible on the right-hand side there. I did have to keep it on the track. You couldn't curb to get any extra corner.
If you had a BMW or a Ferrari in front, they abused that curb. But with the McLaren, it's a no-go. It's definitely a no-go. The race control has put out 2 penalties again during the race. A penalty for Dion Phillips as well for Duncan Kirby. So I'd imagine that's for both of the incidents that have taken place earlier in the race. But we're looking at the battle between Matthew Hodges and Kieran Smart for flat out sim sport. And Kieran Smart, I think he's privateer. He is. Oh, nobody, sorry, Chase. So, roughly 8 minutes of racing to go, or just under 8 minutes. I would reckon that's gonna be about 4 laps. So we finish this race, the first race of the Euro GT3 CXR Championship.
You got it the right way around, like I did it. The GT3 Euro... No, I'm sure it's the Euro GT3 Championship.
Yeah, I thought I wouldn't say anything, but yeah, now you're mentioning it. Yeah, that was really a fuck up.
Really
now.
poor. Yeah.
No, all good, all good. A little replay there. It's Oli Marler. Seems to be taking a little bit too much speed into the, I think that's called the turn with no name, isn't it?
I think it was.
The turn before Pulhan. Just lost the back end of the car, but kept it on track. Still running. Did lose position though, so it's currently P23. Oh, there we see position change.
Yeah, from the Venomworks drivers.
And that's definitely going to play in the hands of Morgan.
There was a change a few minutes ago, so we can go back and actually look for the original change position. There. and then they change back later on in the lap.
So them fighting for position does play in the hands of Morgan, who's now got a 5-second lead. And I mean, if you have to do it pure, oh, nice side-by-side action there between Arnaud Chanonnier and Miles Owens. Kept it clean. Very nice to see. Kieran Smart in the older McLaren livery. And there we've got John Tressler, currently in P18, so he did manage to win a couple of positions.
Yeah, all 3 positions from his starting plate, so in the points as well.
And he went off track, of course.
Yeah.
And he's now on the back of Dennis Meisner, trying to get one more position. Back to the battle between Matthew Hodges and Kieran Smart. A Ferrari against a Ferrari.
Ferrari against a McLaren, isn't it? Oh no, is that a Ferrari?
Well, Phil.
Phil. No, do you know what it is? It's the it's the McLaren livery that's doing my nutty.
Yeah, I just told it was the old McLaren livery, but I mean, look at the front, look at the rear.
Yeah.
No, I get you. No worries.
I didn't think it looked as sexy, but now you say it.
I do have to say, by the way, which I think is quite nice, Paul Clist, who had the machine throughput, connected again and is still out on track. Morgan Thompson just passed him. He let Morgan pass, but yeah, you do have to hand it out to him. That, although he had that internet connection issue, dropped out of the race, he's still continuing. So cheers to Paul Clist. Yep. We see Adam Southgate fighting for position with Gonzalo Perez. Oh, Duncan Kirby. Is Duncan Kirby in the pit again? Oh, he's probably going to take his drive-through, isn't it?
Yeah, I must.
And Dion Phillips, of course, got a penalty as well, but he's currently out of the race. JPH responding to what you said. It's an odd-looking McLaren. Yeah, it is. Wow, was a three-way battle there.
Was the three-way battle?
So Kieran Smart just took 2 positions. Took a position from Matthew Hodges and Dominic Forster. And in the meantime, is Morgan Thompson still leading away now with a gap of 5.3 seconds to Jelle Pieter Hoogland, followed still by his teammate Josh Johnson, but it's Billy Fletcher now who seems to be catching them up just a little bit.
Yeah, well, he's within a second now, just 8 tenths off. 6 tenths off.
Morgan Thompson coming across the line right now, so is this gonna be the last lap? Gonna be close.
Yeah, there might be one more lap after this, which could throw in some strategy differences.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's go. Let's go. So Billy Fletcher indeed found Josh Johnson. There we are with the battle between John Tressler and Dennis Meisner. Very close going through Blanchimont. Good stuff. He's gonna try to do something. Dennis Meisner on the inside there. Good defending position for the bus stop chicane. So no position change there. Good driving by Dennis. Defending the position.
Go back up to the front. Because yeah, I don't think this is the last lap. There's going to be one more at least after this lap.
Well, it's going to be quite interesting. In the meantime, Duncan Kirby came out of the pits and is currently P21. Just out of the points. While it was looking pretty promising, but hey, this is what it is. But nice little battle there for P2. And now something comes into my mind of a sort of 6-hour race we've been doing with things that happened in the last lap of the race.
Yeah, exactly.
Fighting
Anything
for
can
podium
happen.
positions. So
You don't,
I mean,
although you don't want to see that between teammates.
no. But I mean, yeah. I don't reckon it will happen, but yeah. Jelle does have a little bit of a bigger gap to Josh Johnson than Josh has to Billy Fletcher, so it's gonna be quite interesting now. And they're all three in the same car as well. There we see Paul Clist going out of their way, doesn't want to be involved in that battle. Billy Fletcher really on the back there, using the track limits a little bit, but hey, that's where you got the incident limits for. I think Billy Fletcher maybe was trying to keep it on the inside there for the left-hander, but didn't plan out. Now was a little bit of momentum coming onto the main straight. And indeed, we've got the last lap running.
So battle going on between Gonzalo Perez and Adam Southgate at the moment is going to be very close for the last lap.
Yeah, it's all looking on how you take the Eau Rouge here. Nice onboard view going through Eau Rouge. Adam having a great run there. Look at the speed he's gaining. Now let's see how is that gonna play out at the chicane. But you still got him in the inside there. Gonzalo Perez still on the inside. Braking really late. Yeah, lovely battle. Nice view there from the copter view, I think. Nice battle. Well,
Billy Fletcher's getting mighty eager to get his way onto the podium as well. So this is probably the best battle to be watching for the remainder of the lap. Keep an eye on where Morgan Thompson is. Watching come over the line.
The last points paying position is P20. So Morgan Thompson now coming on to the back straight. Nice camera view there. Billy lost a little bit of a toe there.
I think he did. Well, he's going to be not happy with that, to be honest.
And there we've got Morgan Thompson coming up to the bus stop chicane.
We're back on board with him in a second. I'm just going to keep an eye on these three just behind him.
Yeah, and there we've got Morgan Thompson coming across the line, flashing his lights. So well done to Morgan Thompson for winning the first round of the Euro GT3 CXR Championship. Followed for P2, Jelle Pieter Hoogland, P3, Josh Johnson, and P4, Billy Fletcher. Great last lap. And then we've still got Adam Southgate with Gonzalo Perez, but I think Gonzalo Perez is taking P6.
He has. That will put Adam Southgate in P7. Just need him. Just coming around the bus stop chicane now to finish in P8. With Matt Acton not too far behind him as well, so Chris will be happy with that one. Matt finishing well, and Dan Carpenter not too far behind for Sim FX Racing. Miles Owens then to start everybody into the 11th position. 12th position for Arnold Channonay. Kieran Smart finishing in 13th. Hodges in 14th with Dominic Forster just behind him.
Yeah, it's close.
P15. Dennis Mazda crossing the line. John Trissida not too far behind him with Jason Haddington. Yeah, Jesus Christ, that was close, crossing over the line. Daniel Mercer finished in P19. Duncan Kirby just crossing into P20th.
He just took the position there. JPH was already saying it in chat, but he just took the position there from P21 is Johnny Poelstra.
Lee Marler just finishing not too far behind in P22. Jonas Gillis in P23. Mathieu Dambreen in P24. Damien Shaver P25. Peter Danotta going around Blanchimont now. Pretty wide, but
taking a little bit of an off track. I hope it's not his last one where you get a black flag because of it or a drive-through. That will be a bit harsh, but hey, all seems to be good.
It's another the line in P26. Kieran Williams not too far behind. Coming around the bus stop chicane. Across the line in P27, flashing his lights as we like to see.
I think that's everybody finished.
I believe it is, so I will let you go through the points. I'll get them up on screen for you now.
You want to get me out of breath again?
Yep.
Cheers.
So we'll go with
there
no
we
points,
go.
'cause it's not actually-
These are the results.
I'm going to try again.
Oh.
No, still not worked.
What I was going to say, it are the results depending on if there are any penalties issued after the race.
We're going to go with no points. I'll just let you carry on.
Ah, no, we go by position. Oh,
There we go.
there we go. So, the race results for round 1 of the Euro GT3 CXR Championship at Spa-Francorchamps. Morgan Thompson winning the race in front of Jelle Pieter Hoogland and Josh Johnson. P4 is Billy Fletcher, P5 Benjamin Johnson, P6 Gonzalo Perez, P7 Adam Southgate, P8 Chris Needham, P9 Matt Acton, P10 Dan Carpenter, P11 Miles Owens, P12 Arnaud Chanonier, P13 Kieran Smart, P14 Matthew Hodges, P15 Dominic Förster, P16 Dennis Meisner, P17 John Tressiter, P18 Jason Hennington, P19 Daniel Merchant, and for the last points position Duncan Kirby on P20. Then we've got P21, that's Johnny Poelstra, P22 Ollie Marler, P23 Jonas Gillis, P24 Matthew Dambreen, P25 Damien Chafe, P26 Peter Den Otter, P27 Kieran Williams, P28 David Meekin, P29 Paul Clist, P30 Dion Phillips. And there we've got P31 Jess White, P32 Kenneth Andreessen, P33 David Patterson, and last but not least, unfortunately with a blown engine and some other issues, P34 Yuri Pepijn-Evers. There we go.
Yeah, so there we have it. So yeah, that was a great first round actually for the GT3s.
Amazing.
We'll be
absolutely
back.
Amazing.
Yeah, to be honest, I really couldn't have hoped for anything more from that. There was a great showing by all drivers. What a battle at the front, a great battle in the middle, battles at the back as well. So really good to see. Cheers everyone for watching. Next week we will be at Brands Hatch GP. So for round 2, hoping for another close kind of battle there. It's a little bit of a different circuit, a little bit smaller. But obviously we are using the GP layout, but also has a spectacular first corner, which always...
It has more amazing. I mean, it's just such an amazing. It's a little bit of an old school track, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's so good to race at, but can be really, really tricky. Well, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, so same time next week, about 8:15. Wednesday evening, myself and Ruben will be there. Neil and Aaron will be in race control as normal. I'm not sure we'll have Mark back, but if we do, we obviously will welcome him back.
Of course. And we hope to see you all back on Wednesday night as well. So cheers for watching.
Yeah, cheers guys. Thank you. Bye bye.
See you later.